Helena Modjeska, A Tale of Two Halves. While trying to avoid the busy Downs anchorage, Captain William Henry Curran inadvertently conned his ship towards the Goodwin Sands. In response, Deal Coast Guard sent up 2 rockets which arched into the cloudless sky and emitted a red star. As the 2 maroons exploded, the elderly-looking captain realized he was being warned that he was standing into danger. Instead of stopping his vessel, he turned to port and ran the 7,000-ton Liberty ship, Helena Modjeska, onto the sands. The Warmer lifeboat Langham was quick to launch on that day of the 12th of September, 1946. As coxswain Freddie Upton approached the casualty, he could see that she was a fully laden vessel, which also had a deck cargo of army vehicles. In fact, the Helena Modjeska had a staggering £750,000 worth of supplies, which were bound for Bremerhaven to supply the American forces that were still stationed in Europe after the hostilities had ceased. Because of World War II, many ex-master mariners had been brought out of retirement to boost the shortage of younger men who were serving in the US Navy during the conflict. Curran was one of them, and at 56 years old, it was only his patriotic duty that made him take command of the cargo vessel. When the Warmer lifeboat went alongside, Captain Curran was not in the mood to take advice from Upton, who suggested that he lay a kedge anchor out. He decided he would stand by his ship, but allowed the lifeboat coxswain to take off 21 of his crew. 6 tugs were soon to arrive, and they started work, trying to ease the ship from the clutches of the Goodwins. The ship's welded hull groaned as it was being weakened with the efforts of the grounding and strain from the weight of cargo, along with the tug's efforts. Within days, the weather started to turn grim, but with a southwest gale brewing, the captain and officers left their ship under the orders of the salvage officer. A storm of such ferocity hit the Goodwins, with winds encroaching on hurricane force that had not been witnessed since 1909. The storm lashed the wreck and did what the tugs could not, and swung the ship around the sands and ripped her in half. With calmer weather, the tugs towed the 2 halves away from the Goodwin's clutches and beached one part of the stricken ship at Sandwich Bay. Here, over a period of weeks, she was lightened of her cargo, when it was found that 3 tons of foodstuffs to the value of £350 were missing. An investigation led to some arrests. Eventually, when the work was done, the 2 empty halves were taken to the River Blackwater and sold for scrap. Captain Curran was not to see the final outcome of the Helena Modjeska, as he died of a heart attack days after he had vacated the ship, whilst staying in a Ramsgate hotel. It was thought that the stress of the disaster and lack of sleep were the cause. He was buried with an American flag draped over his coffin in a cemetery in Ramsgate.